However, needs 8 for a title. Bang!
There's the emotion.
There it is.
Boom! Jordan Richard.
Champion again.
All right, we're getting ready for our first regional stepladder of the 2024 season here in Myrtle Beach Bowl, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. A lot of Myrtles. I think that's the lady at the snack bar's name as well. I have no idea. Craig Elliott and Kaylee Christ here on the call. We got Patrick Martinez producing, and we are just about ready to start this thing off. Opening match, we will have our number 4 seed, Karina Grasso, taking on our 3 seed, Carson Lukosius. Winner of that match gets our reigning regional showdown champion, Carrie Smith. And the winner of that match gets 6-time Junior Team USA member, Annalise O'Brien. So I believe 3 of these players are looking for their first regional title. Carrie Smith has one, of course, with the regional showdown. So we could have a first-time winner here to start the season. Kaylee?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. Then that's a good thing because it's just about time to get this thing underway. I think they have a few more shots here, and we'll get things going. Scoring was at a premium today, except for Annalise O'Brien. In her last 6 games, she went 190 over to go to plus 140 for the block. Just unbelievable bowling. 98 pins ahead of, well, no, I'm sorry, more than that, ahead of Carson. Yeah, 98 ahead of Carson. 108 ahead of Karina Grasso. Carrie Smith at plus 78. She beat her by, what, just 62 pins. So that's a dominating performance today for Annalise. She started slow, though, right? So we've talked about that a little bit. Her first 2 games on the fresh, not so good. If I look at these scores for our players, these are in no particular order of name, but 193, 161, 177, 152, 194. Those are games 1 and 2 on the fresh. That's Karina, Carson, and Annalise. Carrie Smith on the fresh, 247, 227. There has been a little bit of practice on these pairs, but for the most part, they're going to be fairly fresh. They were re-oiled, not the amount of play that we saw with 5 a pair. So I think from experience-wise and just looking at scores on the fresh, you got to give a bit of an edge to Carrie Smith here this afternoon to win a couple matches and probably win another regional title. Unless one of these players can figure out something a little bit different. Watching a few of Carson's shots, looks like she's getting a little bit grabby right now. On a spare she shot a little bit ago, and even that one there, maybe a little pumped up and overthrowing it. Just got to be careful not to do too much of that because this pattern we saw, Kaylee, has not been easy.
No.
By any means. 39 foot, 27 mils, 3-to-1 ratio. I mean, on paper, not a whole lot to it.
No.
But the surface hooks, the pattern hooks, and you miss left, we seen the ball go left. We saw a lot of players take the 4-7 off 4 racks, especially early on the fresh.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a little different to start off on the fresh here, because obviously there's not as many bowlers bowling on the pairs now.
And they break them down different, right? We've got the players that are bowling better, so let's just see scores fairly decent. But again, it's hard to say for sure how this is all going to hash out. And Carson will start things off. Being the 3 seed, she had lane choice, as she decides to start over on lane number 9. That's a good, solid shot. Make a little correction. We had the arrows up on the wrong spot, so that was Carson that got that first strike. Not Karina, but I'm sure Karina will take it. I mean, hey, do you want it? Sure. All right, that's fine. Let her have it. So Karina is one I don't know a lot about. I know she's from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yeah.
What else have we learned about Karina Grasso today?
Well, let's see. She, when I got to talk to her, I asked her a few questions, and I found this to be really cool. When she was 17, she had bowled back-to-back 300s with her set of a 795.
Very nice. I don't even. How old is she now? Did you even ask that? I mean,
I did
I
not.
have no idea.
I did not.
I mean, we're used to seeing a lot of young players out here on the PWBA tour, especially these regionals.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about Karina except she's from Fort Collins.
She's from Fort Collins. Her role model in bowling and her favorite bowler growing up when she was little.
Tish Johnson.
No.
No, because Tish is from Fort Collins. So.
It was actually Kim Trail-Kearney.
Oh, you know a little bit about her.
Oh, just a little bit.
All right, opening spare. Get the nerves out of the way. So you're taking a big, deep breath there.
Karina did bowl in college. She did bowl for San Jose State on the men's team because at that point in time, they did not have a women's team.
All right, opening spares. And what we've seen today is make those spares. Do not give your opponents, especially in a one-game match, those free 9 splits. That's a dozen pins that you're not going to get back. Young Carson here from Jackson, New Jersey. We talked a little bit earlier how she gets to practice a lot with the Bone family. And she's got a nice rev rate. Definitely above average rev rate out here on any of the women's tours. And starts with an early doubles. Looks like she's really staying in control right now. Really working hard to keep that ball speed down. Because she can pipe it. There's no doubt about that.
I got to enjoy talking to Carson in between, right before we started, and I asked her, I said, do you want to go and bowl out on the national tour? And she said, I think my time for it's coming a lot sooner than I think.
Well, that's a definite yes. Right. She's definitely got the game that can compete out there. She can do some things that some of the other players can't, and when you got a shot like that, you take advantage of it. I was going to get up and carry. How about that? Look at the power the ball creates. So that's not something we see a lot on especially the regional level here for the PWBA players.
Yeah.
That is definitely above average power.
Carson told me that she thinks that she hasn't even reached her best yet in bowling. She bowled for Fairleigh Dickinson and graduated in 2018. And I asked her, I said, what made you decide not to go straight out on tour? And she said, I just needed to re-find myself in the love for the game.
Yeah, I think she's finding it. We've seen her bowl a lot of events in the last couple of years and bowling very successful. A little stick at the approach here for Karina. And leaves kind of that old week 7, which we've heard is a pretty common leave here in this building. New pins in the last week here. You add that to a pretty demanding lane condition. Sometimes the pins get pretty hard to knock over. But just keep making the spares. It's early. Got a lot of game left. Remember, these bowlers just completed a 6.5-hour qualifying block. Had about a 45-minute break, so that's just enough time to let everything stiffen back up again. Sometimes it's tough to get loose.
Yeah.
So I think we're seeing Karina stick a couple of times, and maybe it's just got to loosen up a little bit, get rid of the nerves, shake things off, and get back to what she did all day long. Karina had games of 193, 161, 202, 216, 208, 221, 214, and 217. So like Annalise, she really turned it on the back six. Carson 177 game one, 211, 242, 211, 139. That comes back with the front seven for 247, 232, and then 183 on the end. Kind of stumbled in to this top four. She had enough of a lead. It didn't knock her out, but she made it interesting for us there that last game, down on 3 and 4. I thought I had heard that Carson went right into working, right? She got her degree and started.
She ended up going in to get her master's right after she graduated with her undergrad, and she graduated in 2019 with her master's degree.
You remember what it's in? Did you ask her?
Mm-mm.
Seems like it was. I remember asking it before. Seems like it was something very impressive, like something way smarter than I could ever do. Oh, it's got to hook a lot. She did that earlier, too. After that 247 game, went down and started gutter spare double the next game. So, makeable spare. See, makeable spare. Padding the stats, that's all it is. But that's 30 pins, though. Did you hear people? Is that 3 for 3 on gutter spares today? Is that what they just said? And you know what? Sometimes that's good. That'll keep her calm. I see her up there kind of laughing it off, so that's a good thing. But that keeps this match all of a sudden within 17 pins. That's a big deal.
Yeah. I think she may have freaked herself out just a little bit after that gutter, so she overextended herself.
A little bit. That's pretty common.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to do it again. And this 3-6-10 is not something you want to shoot on this pattern. If you miss a little bit left, the ball is going to hook on. Even the plastic hooks. Nicely done. Very nicely done. You can see even how important that 5 spare, that losing count there. That keeps her more than a mark out of it because of that. If she goes 8 spare in there, she's within a mark with a strike here in the 5th frame. All right, good break. Get the 10 out. Karina still just looks a little tentative.
Like she's almost like not settling in with herself.
Got that one out on lane, a little loft. There you go. Not sure if that was intentional or not. I don't think it was by her reaction. She's all right, got away with one. But first strike on the board. 92 in the fifth.
Carson got her master's degree in sports administration.
So she'll be managing a major sports team someday. Maybe the Bills. Maybe she'll get you tickets. See, it helps to know people here. How about that shot? There you go, big double. When your opponent gets their first strike, go up there and throw two right back at her. Very important for Karina now to keep pace. Try to stay within 15. A couple of strikes here are very, very important as we're getting late here in this opening match of our stepladder final. A little light. Same shot we saw earlier. Just on a different lane. Oh, there you go. There you go. That should settle you down a little bit, right? Get a little bonus action there. Thought she missed it.
Nice trip of that two pin.
Two nice little breaks there. So 222 the max score for Karina Grasso. Carson pacing into 2 teens, so this one's far from over. That's got to go. And she gets the break as well. That's what power does right there. It's like, see, Karina, I can do that too. It's like we're playing horse, right? Let me do a shot. I'll do the same thing. Now look at this one. Peels off the gutter. Gotta go. It goes over. And she sends a quarter for every pin on the deck. That's a better shot. Posted that one good off her hand. That's going to do it.
I asked Carson, I said, what's a fun fact about you? anything. And she's like, I don't know if I have anything. And I said, just something. And she told me that she bowls as a righty and plays softball and soccer as a lefty.
How do you play soccer as a lefty?
Like you kick with your left and not your right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I golf left-handed. I swing a bat left-handed. For some reason, I bowl right-handed. That's not a good choice, obviously. A little backwards. All right, Karina still finished strong. 2:22 left on the board. That's another good shot. Got it out on the lane. A little left to target, but stayed aggressive with it. Made it. Nice spare. And we have a very tough opponent warming up off to our right, waiting for the winner of this match, who is going to be Carson Lukosius, and that is Carrie Smith. Carrie looked like she was going to run away with this event after 4 games and kind of stubbed her toe in the middle, gave some pins back. Here's your favorite spare.
Yeah.
She got it. Oh, that ball didn't hook.
It looked like it for a second that
Yeah.
it was just going to fling to that 10 pin, but
4th place finish, first region of the year. Karina Grasso out of Fort Collins, Colorado. So there's a chance now for Carson to maybe try a different ball. I mean, that one's striking pretty good, but she will not get any practice before the next match. So maybe just grab something else just to see. Right? Of course, she struck basically all but one shot. I mean, the gutter spare, that's just basically a strike on the second shot. Yeah, I wouldn't change balls.
Carson is bowling with her IQ tour.
Yeah, let's probably just move right and get firmer. But I don't see her going away from another ball. Oh, she was left a little more direct. Nope. Stick with, I think, a Zen Soul, maybe. 257. Very nice ball game for Carson.
Next up, we will bring over our 1 and 2 seeds who will get a few practice shots on our championship pair. And then we have Carson versus Carrie, a battle of the K's. Who's going to advance to that championship match here for PWBA Myrtle Beach Regional?
Final football. Direct. Get out of there. Nope. So a very nice 257 for Carson in the win in game number 1. She will get Carrie Smith out of Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Carrie had games of 247, 227, 189, 245. That's when I thought she was going to run away with this thing. And a little hiccup there, 167, 177, 180, and then 246 on the end to lock up that number 2 seed here this afternoon. I mentioned she won the PWBA Regional Showdown last December, so she will be bowling full time on the PWBA Tour with all of her entry fees paid by virtue of winning that event. So that's a pretty nice little prize. And the winner today will be seeded into this year's Regional Showdown with a chance to win the same thing. So Annalise O'Brien has a chance to come in here and get a few practice shots. And Annalise just crushed him the back 6 today.
Yeah.
Absolutely annihilated him.
I had a chance to talk with her too. And she's 19 currently, so she's the youngest one out of the top 4. And she did bowl for college her first semester at Louisiana Tech.
Well, she did.
Yes, but now has entered into the transfer portal
Okay.
and still has not made a decision on where she wants to
She's
go
not going
next.
to tell us?
She doesn't know.
I think I have a pretty good guess.
I don't think she's told herself.
I know if I was in NCAA women's bowling, which I never would be, I know what I would pick. Six-time Junior Team USA, young Annalise. Lady team again this year out at team trials. I think this year's number 6.
She told me 5.
Oh, okay. Well, she also didn't tell you what school she's going to, so she's not telling you everything.
She told me transfer portal because she doesn't. She said she doesn't know yet. But she, being 5-time Junior Team USA member and winning junior gold back-to-back in 2018 and 2019 have been her, she told me, have been her favorite, most accomplished moments of her bowling career so far.
Yeah, that'll change because she's going to have a lot of pretty good moments in her career.
Yes. It's only beginning for her.
Carrie going through a variety of bowling balls here just to see what's doing what reads where. Didn't like the look of that one at all. Now she knows. She will get practice before the championship match as well. But they always let the incoming players get a few shots before the next match starts. All right, here we go.
Advance for our championship round against Miss Annalise O'Brien. Looks like Carson is going to get us started once again. Let's give these ladies a huge round of applause. Who wins the first title of the year here at Myrtle Beach Regional?
Carrie Smith, the 2 seed. Carson Lukosius, the 3 seed here today. And Carrie will finish first. That means Carson will start, just like she did the last match. So can she throw up another 250 game? We're about to find out. That one's in a little bit. Is it going to hold? Oh, yeah, another little trip 4. That looked a lot faster than she's thrown last game, too. Maybe a little pumped up after that 250 game.
You know, I think even though Carson had just bowled that last match against Karina, you know, she settled down during that game and, you know, executed her shots. And, you know, this is a new opponent, and I think she's getting all those nerves back again. And
100%.
she's definitely just going to have to settle down again and just make sure she's executing the way she wants to.
Pretty quality shot right there. And not a good shot there. Just lost it right off her hand, and ball sat right there.
He got to that out of bounds zone that we were noticing on the fresh earlier today, and you hit that one spot and it's just not going to come back.
Gotta watch that 8-pin back there.
She got the count.
28 in the second, an open frame for Carrie Smith. Carson starts with a strike in frame number 1. Oh,
Late
another trip
4.
She's been flirting with that a couple times. Maybe she's going to have to change, right? Or she's going to have to make a little move.
A little move.
I don't know how steep you want to get through the fronts, though. I think the steeper you get, the more you bring that OB into play if you just lose it right off your hand. But that's what, basically her last 3 or 4 shots that she was trying to strike on, you know, not the fill ball, you know, not counting that fill ball, have been almost 4 pins. So it's time to make a move. Or maybe just a little bit firmer, a little more aggressive. Yeah, I think she made a little bump in and didn't get it there. Didn't get it out to the spot. That 3-6-10 again. She left this, I think, in frame 4 last game.
Yeah, it was frame 4.
We'll have scores back up for you here shortly. Just working on the scoreboard. The bug.
I got to talk to Carrie before, obviously, her match, and I asked her the same question as the other 3 girls that I talked to, and I said, who has been your biggest role model or your favorite bowler? And guess who she told me?
Jeff Smith. Her husband.
He said that, actually.
No, I figured that.
It's actually Kim Terrell-Kearney.
What?
Yeah.
You're making Kim famous.
Listen.
Well, I mean, she made herself famous. But
She did that.
you're pumping up her street cred, though.
Carrie told me that she, when she was younger, when she was younger, Coach Kim used to bowl the pro-ams, and Carrie would be the one to bowl the pro-ams with her, and got to know her through the pro-ams. And when Carrie made Junior Team USA, Coach Kim was the coach for that team at that
makes
time.
sense, yeah.
And so they really got to know each other, and it was a good spare. She told me that she just had nothing but amazing words to say about Coach Kim. And of course, if you've met Kim Terrell-Kearney, you know that when you're in the same room as her, the room just lights up. That's just the kind of person she is. But that was the second person that I asked that. I was like, hey, me too.
It's unanimous.
Trivia or Carrie? How many points do you think she has? 32.
She strikes here. She right back in there. I think maybe the last shot just missed it. Didn't get it to the spot. See this one.
Great shot by Carson. Just digging. I asked Carson too. I said, "Who is your role model or favorite bowler?" And she told me her role model are her parents.
That's a great answer. Nope, that's the same thing on that left lane, though. Right, that's the third one she's done over there on that left lane.
Yeah.
But she's got the 9-pin back there with it, and this is not a spare you want to be shooting on any difficult, but even on a house shot. So many ways to miss this thing. You take the 6, 9, 10 off, the 3. We actually saw, remember at Team Trials a couple times, the 3, 9, 10 being taken off that, which was just odd. Try to get that back pin. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
And missed them all. All right. That changes things a little bit. Carrie can get up and double and take the lead in the match now. That's a better shot. Little half 10. Let's make this spare being Carrie Smith and get it to, just a handful of pins difference.
Yeah.
Halfway through this game. Be interesting to see what Carson does as she gets up for her next 2 frames. I don't know if she can make a ball change yet. She only threw that IQ to her once, and she didn't throw it on the left lane at all. If she does make any kind of move, it's going to be kind of a blind move, especially on lane 9. And it's not easy to do right in the middle of a match when you haven't really thrown anything else except for that one test shot. And it crept high on her.
Yeah.
I think what Carson does all depends on what Carrie does. I mean, if Carrie strikes, because she went, 9-pin, kind of a half 10, and if she strikes here, that's going to force Carson to do something because, Carrie's in the pocket.
She's not quite getting there, but it feels like she's almost there. Like,
The ball's just not reading soon enough. That's twice on that lane. Remember, but she 9-pinned the last time.
yeah.
So, light, 9-pin light. So that's not a good ball reaction. It didn't look like she missed target a whole lot compared to the couple shots. It's just the ball just not reading the right part of the lane. So does she have to make, and remember we saw this pair get pretty difficult earlier. And Carrie shot 167 on that pair earlier.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have good memories from it. That's for sure. Yeah, Carson's sticking with the same bowling ball, which I think she has to right now. Just gotta make a quality shot.
Yeah. Not just that. She just needs to make the execute, like settle down and make that good execution.
That's in. But it still held for just a 4-pin. I mean, that should have split, honestly. The way, as much as she missed it in that should have split, but a good break leaves just a 4. And she takes 4 steps from all the way at the back of the approach. I take 4 steps from in front of the first set of dots. I'm a little bit taller than Carson.
I used to take 4 steps from the back dots.
That's some big steps.
Now I take 5 because I have little legs.
And she doesn't slide either, so she's taking that last step as a really big one. That's kind of her power step too, though, and she gets a ton of power. So we got a 6-pin match here. Getting into frame number 7, semifinal match here in Myrtle Beach, the PWBA Myrtle Beach Regional. Craig Elliott and Kaylee Christ here on the call. She
That
did make
is a
the ball
ball
change.
change.
Yep, she did go to the IQ. That's
Yep.
that's pretty solid right there. That's just having confidence in the move, and you just have to commit to it. So, big time move there for Carson. But what she throw it on the right lane as well. I'll say 50-50.
I think she's going to go to the IQ tour. I think that other ball that she was throwing it was just coming in just a tad too high.
She just missed in off her hand that last shot, but I don't know. We'll find out here very shortly. Carrie Smith to try to keep it within 6.
Oh. It was a good shot.
She kind of just jammed that one right in the 1-3. That was the definition of a ring 10 right there. All right, make the spare. Within 17. .201 the max score for Carrie Smith. Carson with just one double, so she's pacing, in the 190s. She can't buy a strike now. And what did that pin do?
It jiggled.
I wonder now if that 7 count in the 6 frame for Carrie was she just tried to make a little move, right? Look,
Yeah.
I'm getting 9, so let me make a move. Please silence all cell phones before walking in the building. Too late. .191 now the max score for Carrie Smith. How about that shot?
And I told her she's gonna completely go to the IQ tour. She made a good decision. It goes through the pins a lot more even.
And it gets her, it's cleaner through the fronts, right? She can stay aggressive with it.
Yeah.
She can miss left with that ball, I think, where she couldn't miss left with that Zen. Strike here, we pretty much lock it up and can't get the 4. So she's struggling with the 4 pin. Carrie's struggling with the 10 pin. Again, as long as Carson stays clean with good count, she's going to win the game. She's in the 190s, but it depends on what she does on her first ball in the 10th. And if Carrie Smith doesn't strike out, it doesn't matter. No worries. No worries at all. She got the left half of it, or left quarter of it. Yeah, she's walking off like, I thought I missed it. We have the young phenom, Annalise O'Brien, warming up, our tournament leader, plus 140 for her qualifying. She got all of that and more the last 6 games of this 8-game block. So even 9 out, Carson's in the 180s. Carrie's she's got to have at least 3 strikes here, at least. So she stuck just a little bit, but had the ball off her hand. Had good timing, so the ball went dead flush. No harm there. Well, she threw a heck of a game. Heck of a game. 9 pin. What's that? 3 10 pins. Now a 7 pin. It's going to be a 3rd place finish for Carrie Smith here this afternoon. Just 2 strikes in this game.
Yeah.
Pretty sure if we had an over-under, it'd have been well over 2, the way she bowled this afternoon. So we're going to have 2 first-timers bowling for a title here this afternoon. Annalise O'Brien, Carson Lukosius. Carson needs 2 pins. Even a crowd like that one. Didn't matter.
A huge round of applause to our 3rd place finisher, Miss Carrie Smith.
I don't think it'll be the last time we see Carrie Smith in a step ladder this year.
No doubt about that. Maybe on the national tour, because she's bowling all of them.
Yep.
And then we will find out who's going to take home the first title of the 2024 PWBA regional season. Here
Carrie
at
Smith
Myrtle
has
Beach
been
Bowl. Grab your popcorn,
bowling
folks.
on the national tour since it came back in 2015.
She is one of those grinders. The harder they are, the more tough she is to beat. No question about that. So Annalise will get her practice shots here on the championship pair. So we talked about Annalise's games. Slow start, 152, 194. Well, you know what? She's not going to make this cut, right? Wrong. 247, 222, 205, 246, 248, and 226 in her 8th and final game to take the number 1 seed at plus 140. Just dominated the field. Imagine if she would have started out even with 180 the first game, right?
You're right.
I mean, she was flirting with 200 over. We'll have a few days off here on Bowl TV. Probably the only days off for the rest of the year, I think, as far as no coverage for 4 or 5 days. But was it the Prairie View Invitational this weekend down in Dallas? Kaylee, you'll be down there, right?
I sure will. Yeah, we start coverage on Friday morning.
Very nice. So 4 days off for all you Bowl TV fans too. You get your little break, but you can go watch all the archive footage. You know, catch up on some stuff that you might have missed through the years. It's all out there to see, and then we'll be kicking off coverage for the U.S. Open from Woodland Bowl next weekend as well.
I know we had talked about Annalise O'Brien earlier and how her dad's on tour and on the PBA 50 tour, so she's in the bowling alley all the time.
All the time.
So I asked her, I said, who is your role model? Who's your favorite bowler? And she's like,
If she says Kim Terrell Kearney, then I'm just calling BS. You just put that down for everybody. Who does she pick?
she actually said, she's like, well, I think my dad would be really upset if I didn't choose him.
Good answer.
But
Uh-oh, here it comes.
she said she doesn't have a favorite. She can't choose. So she told me all of the guys who bowl on the PBA 50 tour are her favorite.
All right. That's being very politically correct. She's got a favorite. Again, she just didn't want to tell you. I think it doesn't matter what ball she's throwing. She's trying a couple different ones. They all strike. She's going to be a tough out, as they call it here this afternoon in this championship match. So, Kaylee, you'll be going to Dallas area, Arlington,
Yes.
for the collegiate event.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be heading to the U.S. Open along with Mike Flanagan. We'll have Tom Hess there. Tom will be doing the PTQ. We'll have Chase Kaufman there. We'll have Brian Kane there. Patricia will be there. Excuse me, Patrick. My bad.
We all know his real name.
Leah will be there with us again. Leah was at the Players. Oh, what does that leave? 3 pins in the back row, still standing. Don't throw that ball again, whatever that was.
All right, bowling fans,
There we go. This is
here
it. It's time.
we
Championship
go.
match here.
Our
Annalise O'Brien,
championship
Carson Lacosha's
match.
first regional of the year here in Myrtle Beach.
Seasoned veteran, but both are used to
Kaylee, who you got?
Who's going to take home the first
Carson.
regional title
Why?
of the year?
Why?
Here
Yeah.
at the
I
2024
just- I mean,
PWBA Myrtle Beach Regional.
I feel like she's just digging deep here. I don't think she's going to let off the gas pedal.
James Campbell in the chat. How you doing, James? Jeannie Franklin. Mike. We see everybody out there. Team Riccardi rooting for Carson. Yeah, reset that 28710. Get that out of there. We don't want to see that anymore. So Annalise is going to start. Maybe just mix things up for Carson, right? Carson started the last 2 matches. She won them both. Say, oh, I'll start now. Put the pressure on you. All right, winning score. Can be high, over under 237.
Oh, I don't know.
We were a little low scoring last game, 186 to 169. Game 1 was 257, 177, and that just looked a little amped up and blew it right past everything. Leaves another 2-8. Makes that spare no problem. Always got to hook at that 2-8. So one of these players about to win their first PWBA regional. This is the first of 9 regionals this season on the PWBA Tour. Nice shot for Carson, still sticking with that IQ. Next up, February 4th, will be Victory Lanes in Mooresville. Then Pennsylvania for the Steel City Bowl and Brews Regional. Rhode Island, Oklahoma, Green Bay, Cleveland, Northern Colorado, Highland Park Lanes. Rochester back at Gates Bowl, and then the regional showdown at Aloma Bowl in Winter Park, Florida. So a lot of regionals sprinkled in around the full PWBA Tour season, which is out there at PWBA.com as well.
You might see me at that Rochester one.
Rochester, New York. That's close for you, isn't it?
It's about an hour and 10 minutes.
Nice opening double.
Whether I'll be bowling or working it, who knows?
Oh.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
National Tour kicks off March 2nd through 4th. The Twin Cities Open up in Eagan, Minnesota. Then Rockford Open after that. The Queens. Southern Indiana, the U.S. Open, the Lucy, and then the Tour Championship in August. You can find all that information at bowl.com. PWBA.com, excuse me. Bowl.com has all the other USBC events.
That was
and
a
our Bowl
late,
TV schedule.
That was a late hit on the 10 for Annalise. Seems like she's kind of in just a little bit more than I thought she was going to be.
Yeah, she's got a lot of surface on that bowling ball. She averaged over 230 in the last 6 games, so I'd say whatever she was doing was working. Keep doing that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Carson starts with an opening double. Looking to keep the pressure on Annalise. Got a hook. Got a hook. Oh. Big break there. Again, I think that's good that she has people back here giving her a hard time about making those spares, right? Keeps her loose.
Her sister Madison is here this weekend to support her. In from Florida.
She got like the whole family here, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Just raw power right there. Throwing pins everywhere. Oh, that's in a ton.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. That was like a 2-arrow tug. Got over top of it, missed left. Just a 5-pin.
When I was talking to Annalise earlier, you know, I had asked all the ladies that I talked to, I said, what is something that, fun fact about you, or something that not a lot of people know? And she told me she calls herself an old soul because her favorite music is from the 60s and 70s, and her favorite movies are also from that time period as well.
That explains why she was hanging out with Spencer Robards at team trials, because he's got the same going on.
I just thought that
some of her jerseys were retro too, then. Huh?
I just thought that was interesting because you don't hear a lot of 19-year-olds say that they love to watch and listen to old music like that. Not saying that it's old, but like.
Careful.
Sorry, Craig.
I'm not from the 60s. That's okay. All right. Need to make a good shot here. Forget about that last one.
Yeah.
Taking a little bit extra time on the approach there, though.
It does look like she threw it. It looks like she threw it way out, like where she wanted to be throwing it like compared to the last few shots.
Yeah, she threw that really, really good, and she knew it too, right off her hand. Strike to keep the lead here for Carson. Got us a little battle here in this championship match. They're going to hold, get the 4 out. Yes, it does.
This match is definitely going to go frame to frame.
Yeah, it's going to be right down to the 10th frame, it looks like. And why not? got a little bit lazy, maybe missed it just a touch. 2-8. She likes to hook it. You got to hook it this way anyway. Should be no problem here. Gotta go. .157 a max score for Carson. That's what she shot in game number 1. .269 for Annalise O'Brien. Max score. A little soft, gonna hold. Yeah, that looks slow off her hand.
It was in a lot more than that last shot that she had over on lane 9. Kind of looked like when she knew she let it go off of her hand, she knew that it wasn't gonna do what she wanted it to do.
Help. That was an SOS sign went up there. She missed left and got slow. Makeable spare though. Just kicked the 3 over in the 4-7. Right to her plastic ball across lane and too heavy on the 3. That puts her max now at 235. And we'll give Carson the lead, sitting on the bench.
That was an interesting take on that split. If I really thought she was going to go for the 2 side instead of the 1 side.
No, you got to try and make that one. That's makeable. Kick the 3 over. I think, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying, get count, but.
Yeah.
That's.
Like in a situation like this, I would rather get count.
That's probably a 40% make, especially for somebody, for Annalise. She likes that left lane, but she's got to finish on the right lane. But she's only struck on once, and she had choice. Big opportunity for Carson to put a ton of pressure on. You can see she has that big last step with no slide and she's just got a little behind it. That foot was at the foul line way before the ball and couldn't make up the distance there in 2 8-10s. Now you go for 2.
And for sure.
You don't mess around with this one. Get the 2.
Well.
She wasn't trying to make that. No. Remember, she just shot the 2-8 and it come up really light, so she made sure she didn't come up light on that one. 143. So it's 233 max score. 235 max score. So again, we have a close ball game. So I'd take the under in that 237 to win the match. It would have been a winner. She yelled at that one. Hoping that hooks.
It looked like she had made the same the same thing happened on lane 10 that it did on lane 9, where
Yeah.
it's just not getting there.
And that's, a weaker ball than she was throwing earlier with maybe a little lane shine, right? So that's a ball that she can't get quick with, right? Her misses is when she gets fast. So a 2-8, a 2-8-10, and 2-4-8 her last 3 shots. She's going to have to make another move late in the game. And Annalise just needs to make a better shot here on lane 10. That last one just wasn't even close, and she knows it.
Yeah.
That's in again. Like she's just not getting off her hand, just getting over top of it. That's been the same miss we've seen out of her. When she misses, it's the same thing every time, just comes around it. I'm not sure who's going to win this one now. It's everybody's. I don't know. You think they're getting nervous? I mean, the chance for the first title for both these players.
I mean, if especially for Annalise at 19, she's won junior gold. She knows what this feeling is like.
Events.
But I feel like this is more like, I wouldn't say more important, but it's almost as if like it's gonna mean more to her, because this is just the beginning for her.
Oh, 100%. She'll be in these matches on the PWBA tour multiple times throughout her career. Yeah, getting the first one at a young age,
Right.
it's a big deal.
She told me when she's done with school, we will definitely be seeing her on the tour, which I already do, but I just needed to confirm it with her.
So she did give you some information. She didn't hold on to you for everything. She likes this lane. She's been throwing great shots on lane 9. But she'll have to finish on lane 10. That didn't get there either. That's in.
But all 10 fell.
Yeah. Looks like that ball is just reading way too early. I don't know if she really missed a lot on that, but the ball, as soon as it hit the lane, it just checked right up on her. Maybe too much surface. Oh, all she wants is a chance in the 10th, and it's up to Carson Nikosius to not give her a chance. Carson can shoot 223. Anna Lease, the max score is 215. Well, Annalise will have a chance no matter what Carson does now. Her max score just goes to 212 with a spare and 3 in the 10th. So how many strikes will Annalise have to throw on a lane that's given her a lot of issues here in this championship match?
Yeah.
I think between, just not having a read on the lane and being tentative, that's why we're seeing her just make some shots that we don't expect her to make. Carson's going to make this 10-pin first.
Ooh. She knew.
She makes it interesting, doesn't it? Keeps it interesting, that's for sure. Well, and, takeaway for Carson, she knows what she needs to work on after this event, win or lose.
Yeah. She
needs to go and work on spares. All right. I don't think it's a secret for any of her fans here in attendance. She's made a few, but she's made them pretty darn interesting. And it's just, shooting them in competition, right? And under the pressure for a title. it's tough to recreate that when you're practicing at home, but just, muscle memory. Just go out and shoot a bunch of spares. Because out on these tours here for the ladies, spares are a premium. As much as she strikes, she starts making spares, she's going to be tough to beat. All right, so that makes Annalise get the first one. And if she strikes here, Annalise will have to get the second one as well on the 10th. She likes it.
She knew right off her hand that that ball was going to do exactly what she wanted it to do. She was really confident in that shot.
All right, count not massively important here. I mean, shoot 212. Annalise can shoot 215, so you wouldn't expect Annalise to go double 6. But just get another strike, put 10 back, and wait and see what your opponent does here. That's a really good shot as well. She aced that one too.
That split right through him.
That might have been the best shot of the match right there. So we'll put a little exclamation point on the 10th frame. 3 strikes for Carson, 212. Annalise, double on 8. And she could be our first winner of the year and for her first PWBA regional title as well. It'll be the first win for either of the two players. That was in as well. Oh, wow. Huge break. Yeah, she just stuck now. I mean, she's missing left on that ball. Does not give her any miss left at all with the amount of surface on it. And that's a huge break.
She's been throwing the same ball the whole match, which is the Brunswick twist with a ton of surface.
Well, forget about that shot. Regroup. Just make a quality shot here. She's striking 8. That's a better shot. That was her best shot of the match as well. She finally got one out there. Got it off her hand. That's what she's been trying to do for the last several frames. And did it in a very crucial point in this match. 8 on this shot. And Lisa Bryant will be the winner here at the PWBA Myrtle Beach Regional. 7, we have a tie. Anything less, Carson Lukosius is our winner. Oh, that's got to hook. That's got to hook a lot. We have a tie.
We have a tie.
Well, what a championship match, folks.
All right, so let me ask you this. So Annalise will have choice what lane she wants to go on. There's no chance she picks lane 10. 0 chance she picks lane 10.
the starting lane and order. And should the match still be tied after one ball, players will switch lanes, continuing the same order until the process of the tie is broken. In this case, Annalise is our top seed, so
She sure made it interesting.
That could have got less than 7.
And we will find out our champion.
What a way to start off the season.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just keep going. Let's make this an end of the 10th frame. Let's go for another hour. Just let them keep tying.
So the rule is, right? I believe what Robin just said is that
Yeah.
they each get one shot.
No, yeah, but Annalise has choice of lane, and if she wants to go first or second, she's got to pick lane 9 and go first. They're down there talking with our tournament director, Robin Graves, who's done a fantastic job here this weekend. Thank you to Robin. Running this event solo. I'm shocked that she's letting Carson go and on lane 10. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, letting her go first maybe, but not on that lane. No way.
I think maybe because she just threw that shot on lane 10, she psyched herself out.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I hope it works out for her, but man, that's tough. And this is Carson's better lane. Yeah.
This is
Because Carson, she 2-8 comboed twice on the left lane. 2-4-8 the last time. Come up light her last 2 shots over there. Yes, she finished off the 10th. Well, she wants to continue. She knows she has a striker right here. If not, Carson Lukosius would be a first-time champion here on the PWBA Tour here in Myrtle Beach. What's Annalise got for her? All right, she's got it off her hand. Good. There you go. Touch high, but that's all right. High flush. And I believe now we go to lane number 9, all right? Yeah, we switch lanes. Yep. Carson goes through her pre-shot routine, visualizing a little arm swing, watching the ball go down the lane in her head, and trying to get up there and do what she just saw. A little instant replay, what she just ran through her mind there. Oh, that's in. It's gonna hold. Ooh. Her feet got really quick on that one. You see,
Yeah.
see that trail leg was right up on the foul line instantly. Like I said, Kayla, this is what a way to start off the PWBA season here.
Right.
Our first regional. 2 great competitors here. Great match. Tie at 2-12. We go to, this is the second frame of sudden death roll off. Carson strikes on both. Annalise has to strike right here to keep it going.
wow.
I
You know
wasn't so
what?
sure about that one off her hand.
Let's just keep going.
Well, we're going to. Yeah, we're going to. Maybe just call Buffalo, have them hold off on that game. Maybe tell them to take an extra timeout or something.
Buffalo's up 3-0. Let me call up Josh Allen real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on a
Josh,
minute.
Yeah. Hey, we're busy here with the regional Myrtle Beach. Can you just hang on? Just give us 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. All we need. Just. Carson taking a little more time here. That was a big, deep breath. She got her game face on now. Yeah, that's some seriousness going on with Carson.
Yeah.
By the way, it's 3-3. Annalisa just made 2 of her best shots of this match here in sudden death. She's going to have to make a third one. It's a little slower. Oh. We have a champion here in Myrtle Beach, Carson Lukosius, her first title here on the PWBA Tour, and it's the first one of the season. Congratulations, Carson. What a match. What an absolute great match that was. We were talking earlier, it's only a matter of time that Carson wins out here, and, well, you know what? She took care of that early in the season. And it's sinking in now. You can tell she's realizing what just happened. I just won. Finally did it.
She's running back to hug her mom right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's our proprietor, Larry, with our trophy. Todd and Larry out there with Carson. She gets a check, too, but that trophy's important. She's been wanting this for a while.
Looks like hopefully we'll be seeing Carson again in Orlando.
Well, yeah, she'll be in Orlando. All right, she's qualified now for the PWBA Regional Showdown, the Loma Bowl in December. Very cool. Good for her. Good for her. Time for some photo ops. Yeah, that means it's over now, Kaylee. We're done. We made it. It's been a long day. We started at 10 o'clock this morning, 8 games of qualifying, some great stepladder matches. And there's our champion, Carson Lukosius. Congratulations to her and all the ladies for making it through the first event of the season here in 2024. So with that, I think we can call it a day. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Right. We're going to pack things up, load up the Yugo. Did you put gas in it? That was your job. You have to gas up the Yugo. You forget?
Who? Gas up the what?
The Yugo. You don't even know what that is.
No,
See?
I don't.
More homework for you. So thanks you everybody for watching. We appreciate y'all out in the chat, keeping us entertained as well as we try to keep you entertained. Of course, thank you to Myrtle Beach Bowl. The staff here has been great to us all weekend long.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, we had a first for us streaming. We set up yesterday during a celebration of life. We never did that before.
There's a first for everything,
that was
Craig.
the first. So I mean, yeah, that was different. But we made it through the first event. More coverage coming up this weekend. College event down in Dallas area. We've got the U.S. Open up in Indianapolis. So make sure you take a little break from Bowl TV for a couple of days, and come back and join us this weekend for more coverage here on Bowl TV. So thanks to the USBC and the USBC Board of Directors and BPWA and their board for allowing us to bring you Bowl TV, the platform here to watch professional bowling on every level all season long here in 2024 and into 2025, 2-year deal with the PBA. The staff. Oh, Carson's she's getting a little chance on the mic to thank a few people.
Final match. Props to all the finalists. Yeah, great bowling. I'm just so excited.
Good stuff. There's Robin Graves, our tournament director.
You are our first first champion of the year, which means you get a bid into the regional showdown at the end of the year. So Orlando in December. Some great weather happened. How do you feel about that?
It was cold when we were there in
I can
December.
imagine.
My parents and sister, they kind of live in Florida, so now I know I have a place to stay and another vacation. So that's awesome, exciting. It's far away, but more time to practice and work for it.
Now,
Carson's
I know
going to
you
Orlando.
don't participate on tour full time, but what was the mindset, coming into the regional and kind of your outlook overall for bowling in 2024?
Just have fun with it, make good shots, hopefully catch a few times, and the title is always a bonus. So.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, our champion is Karen Koshes, 2024
Fantastic.
PWBA Myrtle Beach Regional. Please make sure that you follow the PWBA Tour this year on Bowl TV. You can
She's
catch
got a
us
lot more
and
friends
all
and
of our
family to
major
go
championships will be on
hug and
CBS
celebrate
Sports
with here
Network.
this
Thank you all
afternoon in
for
Myrtle
coming out.
Beach.
Safe
And
travels, and we will see
we're going
you
to call it a
then.
wrap. So for Kaylee Kreis, Patrick Martinez, all of our crew are scattered all over the country. We're getting ready for the U.S. Open here in a few weeks. We're going to call it a day.
Sounds great.
Remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here.